Hello and welcome to an introductory session to Luce's advanced features. My name is Osmar Soursour and I'm a software engineer at Microsoft Advanced Technology Labs in Cairo. In this session, we will talk about advanced features that Luce, Microsoft's Language Understanding Intelligence service, provides. If you have missed the first video where we talked about Luce's basic features, a link to that video will be provided in the comment section below. With Build 2016, Luce has new cool features that are designed to make your life easier when creating a conversational intelligence workflow experience for your apps, devices, and more. Luce now allows you to respond to intent detection by firing events, or what we call actions, that carry data specific to that intent. You can then capture those actions by building your own chatbots on frameworks such as Microsoft Bot Framework and Slack with just one button click. Luce also has an all-new powerful dialogue engine which enables you to author and execute conversational dialogues on any device easily and quickly. So let's go ahead and see those features in action. We continue on our application from the previous session. We set up action firing and authored a new dialogue for the book flight intent. So for example, consider the utterance, "Book me a flight." Naturally, a flight would have a destination, but it so happens that this information is not available in this utterance. Luce's new dialogue system detects and advises the user to provide the missing information, which in this case, the destination, via the dialogue question, as you can see here. So let's provide the missing information, which in this case, the destination. We then see that Luce replies back requiring the date and time for the flight, since that as well is missing. And that, in short, is the new dialogue system that Luce has. Also note the new actions section apparent in the JSON response specific to each intent. This highlights the actions associated with each intent and the parameters carried by each action. We will be talking about these fields shortly. So let us show you how you can use those features. We'll open our existing application, and in that application, we'll edit the booking intent and add a new action. An action represents the behavior that should take place when this intent is triggered on an utterance. Each action can have multiple action parameters. Action parameters are pieces of information that are considered arguments for this action. Now, each parameter has its requirement setting, name, entity type, value, and corresponding dialog prompt. For an action to fire, all required action parameters should be detected in this utterance, meaning that all entity types should also be detected in the utterance. Let's start creating our first parameter. Our booking intent requires a destination and date and time for the flight. So let's create action parameters for the two entities, to location and date time. We'll go ahead and add a destination parameter. We'll choose the to location entity, and we'll add the corresponding prompt question for when that parameter is missing. We'll repeat the same steps to add the date parameter. A parameter's prompt is the question that appears in the endpoint if that parameter is required and was not detected in the utterance. So if the to location parameter was not detected in an utterance, we would want our application to ask the user to where. And the same applies for the datetime parameter, when. Note that the order of the parameters defines the order of appearance of the questions in the endpoint if multiple required parameters are missing. Finally, you can choose a phrase list for each parameters. Phrase lists work with the parameters the same way they work with utterances. They are considered features to improve the detection accuracy of the parameters in the utterances. Let's go ahead and republish our application. And after successful publish, let's try a new utterance with the missing destination parameter, such as book me a flight. As you can see, the input automatically asks the prompt question to where that was set for the destination parameter. As we mentioned before, Lewis has a new feature that enables the user to capture action-firing events using bot frameworks such as Slack. To do this, Lewis provides a set of pre-built actions that can be directly used with bot frameworks. Let's go ahead and enable one of these pre-built actions on our getWeather intent, and then we'll integrate it with the Slack bot we created beforehand. We'll add a new action for this intent, and we'll check the fulfillment option. This opens up the list of available pre-built actions in their different domains. In our example, we will choose the getCurrentWeather pre-built action. Each pre-built action has its own set of settings to be filled using one or more of the action parameters. These setting values are sent to our Slack bot from the endpoint at the time when the action is fired. So let's go ahead and create the action parameter that the setting will get its data from. In our case, the setting required is the location. So let's go ahead and create it. So in summary, when the user enters an utterance that triggers the getWeather intent, its action is fired if the location entity is detected. The value detected is then injected in the settings field of the pre-built action. The settings value is then sent to our Slack bot. So for example, if the user enters, "What's the weather like in Cairo?" the entity Cairo is detected as location and is sent to the Slack bot. The bot will respond in the Slack interface with the current weather in Cairo. So let's see this in action. We save our intent, and we go ahead and republish our application, and we'll enable Slack integration. We'll find that we need to fill in the client ID and client secret key for our Slack application. These are obtained when creating your Slack bot. You can check this link for more details on how to create your Slack bot and retrieve these values. We've already created our Slack bot, so we'll go ahead and paste our ID and key here. Now we'll publish our application. Now all we need to do now is to copy this endpoint URL and paste it in our Slack app in the redirect to URI segment. We're ready to go. Let's go ahead and test our bot. We have a chat room set up here with our bot in it. When I enter any phrase, it is sent to our Lewis endpoint, and if it triggers the getWeather intent, our Slack bot should reply back with the weather details. So let's try that out. What is the weather like in Cairo? And we see that our bot has answered with the current weather in Cairo. That's it for our series. We hope you enjoyed it, and we're waiting to see your fantastic applications. For more information, please visit www.lewis.ai/help or send us any questions you have on the support forum. Thank you for watching.